We met in 1995. I was actually in medical school at the time, which I guess implies I'm a doctor, which is actually true. Yeah, and people ask me, how the heck do you do medicine and be a stand-up comic? That's crazy. They're like so different, you know? Like comedy and medicine are worlds apart, first of all. Like, for example, like if you're doing really well in comedy, you can say, oh man, I killed last night. I'm killing up there on stage. You can't use that in the hospital. Like, Dr. Killer, how did my husband's surgery go? Totally killed in there. Killed, it's so good. Thank you. He's not dead, man. He's just, I killed. That was so good. No, I mean, like, here's the thing. If you're, at some point in your life, you're going to have a health problem and you're going to need a doctor. Like, no one's ever needed a comedian. You know, you've never been like, oh my God, did you hear about Jim? He died. He was only 56 years old. Yeah, but he hadn't been to a comedy club in like 30 years. Never going to hear that, right? And then there's that phrase, you know, laughter is the best medicine. Not if you're incontinent. Anybody here just prove my point? There's a lot of absorbent chairs here. No, I didn't know what kind of doctor I wanted to be when I was in medical school, so I just asked my dad, and his name is Dick. So now I'm a dick doctor, I'm a urologist. That's true, yeah. I get called lots of things, you know, pecker checker, cock doctor, things like that. I got called Urethra Franklin. That's a no-brainer. You know, if you're from Detroit, you gotta live on that one. You know? I put the P in R-E-S-P-C-T. You know? It's a wet job. I get called the Detroit Piston. That's another good one. I'm proud of that one. That's why I don't wear yellow. I get called the Phallus Cowboy. That's a football reference. No. My name gets messed up. Gillerans, G-I-L-L-E-R-A, and it's an Irish name, and people see the A, and everybody at work calls it something different. They're like, Dr. Gilleran, Dr. Gilleran. I've had people call me Gillerman when they think I'm Jewish. Yeah. My hair one time in the summer was long and puffy, and I had kind of a big beard, and I got mistook for being Jewish. I had an 85-year-old Jewish woman in my office on Yom Kippur. And she looks at me and she goes, it's Yom Kippur, why aren't you in temple? And I said, I got a pretty good excuse, I'm Catholic. What's yours? She's had a bladder problem, she had to see me. No, I am Catholic, I'm a rusty Catholic. Have we got any rusty Catholics in here? With a lot of shape, yeah, it's okay. I feel you, it's okay. I went back for the first time in a while. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't know what to do. I didn't know when to sit, when to kneel. I just look for, like, if there's an old woman in the front row at church with like a babushka and a rosary, just look at her, see what she's doing. You know? Pretty good guide. I forgot how to do like the sign of the beast, you know, like I didn't even know, oh, you're supposed to shake the hand of this person over here and this person over here. And then the person behind you has been breathing on your neck the whole service. But there's always like a person in front of you at Mass that doesn't turn around and shake your hand. You're like, what the heck, man? I'm standing right here. Am I not worthy of your peace? But then, there's, you know what I'm talking about? There's like that person that's like an aisle in front of you and like 3 people over. Like you like kind of reach over and you're like, nah, it's not worth it. It's okay. Peace be near you, bro. Jesus didn't. He wasn't really much into shaking hands. He was more of a foot guy. True, yeah. He washed feet, right? That was what it says in the Bible, right? And and the thing is, if you wash someone's feet now, they're kind of a little bit nasty, right? You know, it's kind of weird. But he was washing feet 2,000 years ago. People had no shoes. It was the desert. These were some nasty feet. So he'd have them come over, and there'd be like a bin of water, and it'd be nice and clean. The first person would wash their feet, and then the second person would wash their feet. The water would get a little bit dirtier, and someone would say, like, hey, Jesus, why don't you ever let anybody wash your feet? He's like, well, I'm walking on water all day, bro. None of these people can do it. I gotta wash their feet, okay? When you learn how to do that, you don't have to come and get your feet washed anymore. Finally, third, fourth guys come in, the water's just getting brown and filthy, and finally someone comes up and looks at the water and is like, Jesus Christ, you can do something about this water? Maybe you could turn it into wine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the origin and backstory of barefoot wine. Barefoot wine, yes. The wine's so bad, like you'll deny it 3 times before the cock crows. Any barefoot wine drinkers in here? It's a Bible reference. I got a few of those.